Okay, Zach, Chris, I gotta ask you guys, you ever watch a documentary about something you love and it just kind of sucks all the fun out of the thing that you love?
Fast Food Nation.
Well, okay, so I love monsters and the paranormal, right? And I watched this documentary on the Flatwoods Monster. I need you guys to do a little look-see and see what this monster is that I'm talking about. So while we play our intro music to the show, welcome everyone, I want you guys to Google the Flatwoods Monster and see what he looks like really quick.
And don't Google Fast Food Nation.
All right, so we are Googling the Flatwoods Monster while we play that lovely intro music for the first time the second time in 2021. You can
Hold
cut
up
that
on the
part
intro
out.
music. Hold on the intro music. So the Flatwood Monster has like an afro-y head with like glowing eyes. And kind of looks like a pilgrim.
Yeah. Like, okay, so you see that and
Like
you
a
see
Scientologist version of a pilgrim.
Yeah, so you see that and you're like, that's the most awesome monster I've ever seen. So like
Like a Power Ranger villain.
yeah, exactly like a Power Ranger villain, okay? And okay, so this is like the most awesome looking monster. In fact, it's become a bit of a cultural phenomenon, really popular in Japan for some reason. It's in a lot of video games and toys and
that makes
Power
sense.
Ranger series in Japan.
Japan is awesome that way.
Yeah, right? So, but you watch the documentary and then they interview the eyewitnesses and they're like, we didn't say we saw that. We said we saw like a mechanical thing, like a missile, and it didn't eat our dog like the story always told people. So I'm like, what the fuck did I watch this for? This just ruined everything about this cool monster. This happened in the 50s. So basically this documentary solidifies why the Flatwoods Monster, who rules and is awesome, is West Virginia's second best monster as far as popularity goes, because, you know, the Mothman's from West Virginia as well.
The Mothman.
But I call this the dinosaur effect because dinosaurs were way more awesome when we were kids, and now they're adding feathers and all this bullshit that just makes it less fun. And I don't care if that's scientifically accurate. It's not as metal. I'm sorry. Giant birds aren't metal.
I don't know. Those velociraptors look fabulous now.
Oh, with the little plume, the little mohawk.
They're little feather boas.
Yeah, I guess all dinosaurs were feathered of some sort, even T-Rexes. Is that true?
No, it's
in 15 years we're gonna realize, oh, dinosaurs are just birds. We fucked up, guys. They were just birds. We put the skeletons in wrong. Oops.
I believe, and Kevin's gonna yell at me for this if I'm wrong. So I believe that the sauropods still, you know, the four-legged dinosaurs do not have the feather thing going on. So
it turns out those were just alligators. Whoops.
Yes,
we fucked up again.
Triceratops
Alligators
are okay.
and birds.
You're not going to see a feathery
T-Rex was
Triceratops.
furry. T-Rex had fur.
Well, it's
the original furry.
It's very long. It's fine feathers, Zach. It's not supposed to be fur.
All right, I don't even know if the theme song is supposed to come in at some point or where.
I thought the theme song came in before we even started talking, so
Yeah.
Sometimes it does. Like probably this episode.
my mind is blown.
We'll figure it out.
Welcome to another miserable podcast, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. The pumpkin-scented intersection of horror and pop culture, that is us.
I'm in my closet.
That is Mr. Chris Pistol speaking. The person talking about the Flatwoods Monster is Professor Casey. I am Zach.
I love that monster, Zach. I'm just very disappointed. But I've been on a monster documentary kick, and I know some of that kind of rubbed off on you a little bit.
It did. Well, I've always had a fascination with the paranormal. One of the shows I get a kick out of right now on the Travel Channel is that Paranormal Caught on Camera show, which is like their new thing.
Oh, God, that show sucks. Oh, my God.
I miss the Travel Channel.
You gotta watch it, man. Get Discovery Plus.
Yeah, Discovery Plus is the shit, dude.
I actually just watch reruns because I do have cable, but
Yeah, I bought Discovery Plus, and it's all
an
I
interesting
watched.
show. So like people submit like videos of paranormal stuff they've caught on camera, and then they have a panel of experts that have to pretend probably half the time that what they're looking at is like legit. And some of these videos probably are legit in quotes. That's your definition of what how you think about the paranormal. But some of them are clearly like, okay, that's just some dude crawling on the ground like covered in mud. Like, and they have to like act like, dude, this is scary, like that's not a human. And I'm like,
That's the thing. You can't say it's bullshit in 2 seconds, or you have
Humans
no
do
show.
not crawl like that on all fours.
I will say some of the stuff on there is not like faked. I don't know what is in this video, but like, so it's a variety of things from aliens to cryptids to ghosts to, so it is fun to watch as long as you just kind of turn your head off.
Or just laugh at it the whole time, because you might be doing that.
I'm open-minded as far as paranormal stuff goes. I know, Casey, you're kind of a believer as far, you've seen Ghosts before, haven't you, my friend?
Yeah, I have seen
Believer?
Ghosts
Mr.
before.
Justin Bieber?
Yes, he's my favorite. Yeah, I was gonna make another reference, but I realized it was Aaron Carter instead, or Nick Carter, whichever one's the.
I was
the
at an
little-
Aaron Carter concert once when I was like 10. True story.
Not surprised. Were you the backup dancer?
No. I was there to see the 18s with my dad and younger sister, and he was like the main act, and I didn't really care. But
18s. Wow, that brings back some memories. We should make this a podcast about bands from that era. Oh,
I remember watching the 18s with Mr. T and the guy smoking a cigar. Great time.
Yeah, Hannibal. She's not getting me on no plane.
so yeah, I find paranormal fascinating. I'd love to stay in a haunted motel one of these days or something like that, just for fun, which might not turn out to be fun.
Ooh, we have a haunted hotel here in Arkansas.
Yeah,
And I visited it, but I did not stay there because it's also kind of expensive.
I have visited the Shining hotel, the Stanley, which, yeah, I didn't have a paranormal experience there, but my girlfriend did.
The one that they used for like the interior, or the one that was the actual like inspiration for the book? There's like multiple Shining hotels.
It's the actual inspiration for the book where Stephen King
Okay.
stayed and found out that it was very haunted.
I think they used that one for the TV movie.
They used some exterior shots for it because it is a really nice looking hotel on the outside. The inside, it's not very exciting.
That's why it's not very scary.
Yeah.
So the TV movie sucks balls.
Yeah.
Like, let's use the real hotel. Oh, it's actually like quite lovely.
It also
Not
doesn't
scary at
have.
all.
It's also not really just hidden meanings for the moon landing. If you watch that one fucked up documentary on The Shining, I did not know what I was getting into when I started that shit.
one last note on paranormal stuff before we just talk about the Willy's Wonderland trailer for 60 minutes is one part of, I'm very fascinated with UFOs and ufology and that stuff. I've always kind of found it interesting. And there was a documentary that came out last year called The Phenomenon. It's by a filmmaker named James Fox, who has made, in my opinion, some of the best documentaries in that field. And this is kind of like this is like a big theatrical release. It might have shown in some drive-in theaters, but it's like very high production value. I think he was going for a very kind of 60 minutes sort of feel, but it looks really good. And it's kind of meant to be sort of something that like general audiences that haven't heard of a lot of UFO cases can watch, and kind of it's something that's meant to appeal to a wider audience. So a lot of the cases are things you've heard of before. Roswell's in there, the Lonnie Zamora, close encounter case. But I really
Betty
enjoyed
and Barney
this.
Hill.
I think that's mentioned in passing. It moves really fast initially, and then it kind of slows down in the latter half. I almost wish it was a little longer because there's so much to take in there. But it focuses a lot on military encounters, and like you guys heard about the Pentagon cases that came out last year, like a real video. So I would definitely recommend it if you guys are curious about UFOs, because it's just one of those things that makes you think. There is one case, if nothing else, that I will encourage everyone to look up. And that is the Rua, Zimbabwe case.
Oh, yeah.
This is probably the greatest close encounter ever recorded, as far as I know, about a group of kids in Rua, Zimbabwe, Africa, or South America. Africa. Sorry.
Africa.
I don't know my geography, Africa, called the Ariel School, and they witnessed a UFO touchdown on their playground, and alien come out, and they kind of like communicated with these kids
this is
telepathically.
almost the exact story as the Flatwoods Monster, actually. Like it's really close. And I gotta plug that Flatwoods Monster doc too. It's by this guy. You know, I was joking when it said it sucked all the fun out of it. It was actually a pretty good documentary. There's this group called Small Town Monsters, this production company that does monster documentaries, like cryptid documentaries, and there's a ton of them, and they're all available on Amazon Prime for free. So you can find a lot of them. They have a great Mothman one. They do some pretty interesting visual techniques to kind of recreate some of the scenes that look pretty cool. And I recommend it. I recommend joining their Facebook group too. There's some weird stuff in there, but it's pretty fun.
Yeah. Anyway, so that case, the Rua Zimbabwe case, is the case that this documentary ends on. And the kids that they recorded interviews with these kids when it happened, when they were like, 9 years old, 8 years old.
Yeah.
And now this happened in the like late 90s. And now like 20 something years later, they've, these kids are back and they still vouch by their story. Tons of people saw it. It really makes you think and go, okay, well, what is the government not telling us?
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably not telling us a lot of things, but
that being said, I do remember when I was in second grade, an actual lion came to our school and talked to us about drug safety.
Oh, well, see, not that
and
strange.
I will swear on a stack of Bibles that was a real lion. And he came and talked to us about how just say no to weed.
So that's the phenomenon. There actually is a separate documentary coming out just on that Rua case, which I'm looking forward to. That's been in the works for years. It's called The Ariel Phenomenon. So different documentary, but that hasn't come out yet.
It's been in the works so long. I wonder if it's coming out. But
I hope it does, because it's really, this is like the most fascinating case in the UFO field as far as I'm concerned. Okay, enough about the paranormal stuff. So what we're gonna do today, amongst just maybe talking about other things we've been watching, we're gonna look at the 2021 horror movie calendar and see what's coming out, because there is a lot, gentlemen. I printed out a huge list, so I figured we could just run it down on paper. I killed so many trees for this episode,
so
but I figured we could just go through it and just give our thoughts. If you want, we can just talk about Willy's Wonderland first, because I imagine both of you guys saw that. It just hit yesterday, and it looks incredible. I've known about this movie for a bit.
That was my nickname for my butt in prison.
So, but do you guys want to talk about that now? Or I have this like in order of like when they're coming out from January.
Let's be real.
That comes out in February. So
it's a fucking ripoff of Five Nights at Freddy's again.
Yeah.
But Nicolas Cage. Oh,
Chris, you gotta watch it.
Chris,
why didn't you send this to me, guys?
I'm sorry.
Because you expressed a trepidation against Nicolas Cage in our last episode.
No, I love Nicolas Cage. I just had like mild problems with Color Out of Space, but I love Nicolas Cage is my favorite part of the movie.
Okay, so imagine if you were playing Five Nights at Freddy's, but you were playing as Nicolas Cage.
I'm not sure if Chris knows what Five Nights at Freddy's is either, Casey.
Oh,
he's not a gamer.
Okay, so it's a game that 10-year-olds play that is about a haunted Chuck E. Cheese where the animatronic creatures try to kill you. This is more of a theme park than a pizza place, but it's that kind of thing.
It's about Nicolas Cage. His car breaks down in front of this. I guess it's like Chuck E. Cheese, like a larger Chuck E. Cheese called Willy's Wonderland.
Yeah, it seems a little more like half Chuck E. Cheese, half theme park.
And according to the plot is when his car breaks down, a quiet loner agrees to clean an abandoned family fun center in exchange for repairs. He soon finds himself waging war against possessed animatronic mascots while trapped inside Willy's Wonderland.
So I'm playing the trailer right now, and right when you said his car breaks down, it like cut to a shot of his car broken down.
Yes.
So it was great timing.
So one thing I'm excited about, I don't think he's in the trailer. Grant Kramer is in this. Mike Tobacco, for you Killer Clowns from Outer Space fans, is in this movie, which makes me super happy.
Tremendous.
So I'm very excited. Yeah, it does look a lot like Five Nights at Freddy's, so much so that I don't know how the writer got away with this, because I know Blumhouse is adapting Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, but also Banana Splits was kind of Five Nights at Freddy's.
I still need to see Banana Splits, but this even more so.
This looks. Is this directed by Robert Rodriguez?
It's directed by a man named Kevin Lewis, who I don't think I've seen.
Dude, he's been a guest. He's been a guest on our podcast.
Not that Kevin.
No, that's Kevin Canterelli. I'm sorry. Kevin's probably listening because I talked about the Flatwoods Monster in the beginning. He's probably still listening to the show. Hi, Kevin. We love you. So yeah, dude, I can't wait to see this. Do we have a release date? Chris is watching this trailer.
Comes out February 12th, 2021 on video on demand.
I am getting this immediately. This is one that you buy. This isn't one that you rent. This is one that you buy. Just saying. On the VOD. If they have a buy option, you click that shit. You don't just watch this once in a 24-hour period.
I wonder... I can't wait to see this, but I'm also wondering, just by the trailer, I'm like, I wonder how long they had Nicolas Cage, because it seems like every shot is like with Nicolas Cage in it is him by himself, which makes me feel like they had him for like a week and just shot all of his stuff in 1 week.
Hey, it's all good because you only need one take with Nicolas Cage being Nicolas Cage.
I'm just so excited to see that Nicolas Cage is just having fun with his career right now. His next movie, he's like playing a version of himself, and he's like meets an obsessed fan, and he has to save like his family from this obsessed fan or something. That's like
full Bruce Campbell.
That's coming out this year as well.
Or full Jean-Claude Van Damme, yeah.
It might be coming out. I feel like I saw a March release date. I haven't seen a trailer for it yet, but it's just fantastic. I still need to watch History of Swearing on Netflix, but so that's Willy's Wonderland. Let me run down the rest, and we can stop and talk about some of these. So this first one is just a smaller release, but I've heard cool things about it.
Dude, you know, Zach, hold on. You know they're going to have to change that title when they release it in the UK because Willy is a very commonly used word for penis over there, right?
I mean, it's also a name. You can also be called Willy.
Did they change Willy Wonka over there?
Motherfucker, they changed the Ninja Turtles to the Hero Turtles over there. They're going to change everything.
All right, so
different reasons, though.
The 2021 horror movie release calendar that I have, this does not include a lot of Shudder releases. There's only like a handful of those, but there's a good amount of Netflix stuff on here. This is just a sampling of like most of the main releases coming out this year. There's tons of independent stuff that I don't have on here. I only had so much paper to use. So, January 15th. So it already came out. This is Don't Tell a Soul. It's in theaters, limited theatrical release, drive-in release probably, and video on demand. Stars Rainn Wilson. It is about a security officer who falls down a hidden well while chasing two teenage brothers who stole more than $12,000 to help their sick mom. Desperate to get out, he soon tries to convince one of these siblings to set him free and save his life. So,
okay, Zach.
Yeah.
Problem.
Yes.
You're making a movie. You know, you want to make some stakes for your characters. You know,
yeah.
$12,000. Couldn't add a zero on there to make it a little more.
That's a lot of money for like a medical bill. I mean,
I guess
if you have no money,
add a zero.
Anyway, I've heard pretty good things about this, and I don't
have $12,000,
so I'm excited to see Rainn Wilson in like a horror thriller. So I'll definitely check this out soon. The next release is one that you guys probably have heard about. This is Psycho Goreman, coming out January 22nd, 2021.
I know someone, I know a couple people, like, know as in like we're Facebook friends, but we don't really hang out, that have seen this movie and say it is fucking amazing. And everything that they have said about this movie makes me want to see it. This looks like this is a movie made for me, Zach. I
feel like the first time I showed this to you, you thought it was like trying too hard. But that was like a year ago when he
but that was until people I knew that would say the same thing saw it and loved it, and now I know it's gonna be okay. I know everything's gonna be all right.
This is coming out January 22nd, 2021. It is directed by Steve Kostanski. You might know him. He directed The Void, which came out a couple years back.
It's been The Void, great special effects. Not good anything else, so this looks like it's heavy on the special effects.
The Void was a disappointment for me because it has a really cool premise and it just doesn't do much with it. But this looks like he's having a lot more fun here. The plot is about intergalactic assassins converging on a small town after two siblings unwittingly resurrect an ancient alien overlord. So
this looks very much like a send up of like 80s no budget movies where like the simple premise is like an alien comes down who looks very much like the alien in this movie and just like fuck shit up.
It sounds like a goofier, more over the top version of like Terminator or something like that. Like
yeah, or like a Sinjanor type movie, or Critters without critters. But yeah, this looks like right in my wheelhouse. The more I hear about it. Originally, I'm like, oh, this is one of those movies trying to be an 80s movie. There's nothing I hate more right now because I'm sick of seeing it is everyone trying to make Stranger Things. I'm getting kind of tired of it. It's just like last generation in gaming, everyone had to look 8-bit and retro. It's like, okay, enough. Stop.
So that's coming out January 22nd. Once again, so just a few... it'll probably be like a couple days after this episode releases.
Right, and so watch it immediately because so we're going to talk about it next time. Yeah.
So it's getting limited theatrical release, and it's going to be on Shudder. So there you go. Yeah. Subscribe to Shudder. All right.
It already made the festival circuit for like a year, and nothing but glowing reviews for it.
Yeah. So the next release I have on here, which I think I mentioned in passing last episode, is the Wrong Turn reboot, which is coming out January 22nd, 2021. This is directed by Mike P. Nelson. It's from Saban Films. It's going to be in theaters for one night only on the 26th, and then I think it'll be followed by an on-demand release. The interesting thing, so the original Wrong Turn came out in 2003. I was a fan of this movie when it came out. Just a really good kind of Hills Have Eyes style backwoods, suspense thriller.
Yeah, but did you... Okay, two things. Mike P. Nelson, not Mike J. Nelson. I got so excited it was the Mystery Science Theater guy. It is not.
No.
Different person.
But you might be excited about the writer. The writer is Alan B. McElroy, who has quite the diverse resume. So he wrote
The Alan B. McElroy? Oh my gosh.
So he wrote the original Wrong Turn. He wrote Halloween 4. He co-created the Spawn animated series and the film, and he penned Curse of the Spawn comic series.
Yeah, he's
also done The Marine, Tekken, The Marine 4, The Condemned 2, and 17 episodes of Star Trek Discovery.
Okay, so
diverse career.
The Tekken movie is one of the worst movies ever made. Let's not.
I'm not going to blame Alan B. McElroy for that.
I liked the first Wrong Turn. I didn't see any of the apparently 85 sequels that came out after that, though.
They're fun. I honestly recommend checking them out. Wrong Turn, they're silly. It's one of those movies. They're movies you just turn your brain off for, but the second one is fun. I don't remember the third one as much, and I don't know if I've seen the fourth one. I feel like I did see all of them, but I remember the first one's the best, but the second one is entertaining, and I can't remember enough about the ones after that. But I'm excited to see this because it's a fun franchise. And that movie, Anything with Jackson, that I mentioned in my best honorable mentions, best horror releases of 2020 episode, he was in the original Wrong Turn. So I believe the character's name was Smalltooth.
Oh yeah, I mean they all have he was Inbred Hillbilly number 4, kind of. But he was a feature. No, he was more like 1 or 2 because he was a featured Inbred Hillbilly.
All right, so let's keep going because there's a lot on here. It's going to take us forever. So January 29th, 2029. Sorry, let me say that again. January 29th, 2021, we have a movie that was delayed. It was supposed to come out last year, and then the pandemic. This is Saint Maud. It's from A24. It's directed by Rose Glass. So you guys might have seen these trailers. It looks very A24. It's about a pious nurse who becomes dangerously obsessed with saving the soul of her dying patient. So it looks all kinds of messed up, sort of just a girl losing her mind, and someone is on the receiving end of her losing her mind. So...
Not a Casey movie.
No, probably not, but A24 always releases quality stuff, so I'm going to check it out. I'm sure it's...
I like the imagery in this.
Yeah, it's gotten good reviews so far, like early stuff. So then Willy's Wonderland is after that, February 12th, 2021. We already talked about that.
Hell yeah, dog.
This next one is another... this is a release that hit festivals last year and I heard really good things about. It was on some people's best of 2020 list, the people that saw it in festivals. It is Come True, coming out March 12th, 2021, directed by Anthony Scott Burns. He directed the movie Our House in 2018, which I have not seen, and he also directed a segment in the anthology film Holidays, which I still need to see. But it's,
that one's pretty good.
Yeah, the plot is strange events plague a troubled teen which he participates in a scientific experiment to stop her nightmares. I hear this delves into like sleep paralysis, which I think I might have had some experiences with. It's not fun. So
No, it's not. No, trust me. Like, I'm surprised there's not like 10 movies on it, actually.
like I just had like a dream the other night where I was like in my room and I couldn't like move in my bed. And like, then I heard like rumbling on my windows or something. And then I woke up and I was still in my bed. Oh, okay. And it like took me a second to go, oh, okay, I'm up. But like,
I had this dream,
it's weird.
man.
It's weird.
I had this dream where I was eating this giant marshmallow and I just kept eating it and eating it and eating it and eating it. And it was like fucking like Stay Puft Marshmallow Man size. I'm just like shoveling this marshmallow in my mouth. And then I woke up and my pillow was gone, Zach.
Oh, you ate your pillow?
That's a joke. That's a joke. Thanks. Let's move on.
Yeah, I have a lot of dreams about like people breaking in through my window because I have a big window right above my bed, and then there's like the gate to like our backyard right next to my room too.
Nice.
So
Thank you for giving our listeners access to your home.
I constantly hear noises there, and I'm just like, and we get like cats that come into our, around our backyard and stuff. So I'm always hearing noises. All right, this next one I'm excited about.
Dreams I'm in high school.
This next one I'm very excited about. I just found out about this. I think it had some limited releases last year, but it's getting a wide release on Shudder next year. It's called Slacks. LAXX. Comes out March 18th. Directed by Elsa.
Killer Pants.
It's exactly about Killer Pants.
Yeah,
I'm not
it really
sure.
is about Killer Pants.
Yes, I was right.
Like, what else do I need to say? This is a movie about killer jeans. That like, it's about this store releasing a new pair of pants called Slacks, LAXX, that conform to your waist.
Yeah, they're like pants with AI, so they fit you better. Yeah,
They're sentient pants.
yeah.
Sentient jeans. It looks hilarious.
Yes.
This is directed by Elsa Kephart. Someone pointed out in the comments of the trailer of this that it has the same plot as like the pilot of Jimmy Neutron.
What?
Wow.
The Jimmy Neutron TV show was about like killer pants.
Oh shit, that's a wow.
Which I totally didn't remember. So shout out to that YouTuber who left that comment because I would have forgotten about that. I just knew this plot looked familiar.
So,
but I'm excited to watch
Kevin
this.
probably would have told us that. He probably would have known and told us that.
So Slacks coming out March 18th on Shudder. God bless you, Shudder.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
All right, we got a
AI
huge
pants.
So, okay. Let's take a minute to slow down here, guys, because we have a big one. Godzilla versus Kong, March 26th.
Bro, I'm already there. I'm already there. My mind is just counting down the moments until this movie
is coming
comes out.
like really soon, and we have no trailer for it.
Oh, but we did. We got to see Godzilla get punched in the fucking face by King Kong teaser, though. So that was
yeah. It just came out. HBO Max released like a sizzle reel of like the releases.
Okay.
And so this was pushed up from a May 21st release. So it's going to hit HBO Max and theaters at the same time, which I think is anything that's going to HBO Max this year is going to hit theaters as well.
Yes.
Yeah, and supposedly they moved it up because they're trying to avoid a lawsuit of some kind.
There's weird rights issues where you have to keep using the character for the rights to continue. Now, I can't wait to see this movie. I'm there. Dude, we'll talk about it on the show probably when it comes out. This is going to be... We'll get Kevin on the show to talk about it. And Zach is completely silent right now and talking. But
no, that's why you guys weren't answering me. You guys remember who is directing this film?
Yes. Steven
Is it Michael
Spielberg.
Dougherty? Did he come back?
What'd you say, Chris?
Was it Michael Dougherty? Did he come back?
No, it is not Mike Dougherty. This is directed by Adam Wingard. So Adam has had an interesting few years. So he did You're Next. He did The Guest, which is one of my favorite like horror thrillers of the last 20 years probably.
I hate You're Next.
But he also did The Guest, which is awesome. So let's just talk about The Guest. But the last two movies he did was Death Note was his last release, which I have not seen. And then he did Blair Witch before that.
It's Death Note is fucking terrible. And I could do a whole show on how much that movie fucking sucks. So you've killed my interest in this movie.
We can talk about Blair Witch, which I just hope it's better than Blair Witch. Man, that movie came out in 2016, guys. Whew.
I actually enjoyed it.
I'll say this: the commentary for the new Blair Witch is pretty hilarious because they recorded it like the week after opening week of Blair Witch, which was an extreme disappointment at the box office and critically. So they're just like drinking and bitter about the reception that the movie got. And just like, we're not going to explain that shit. Fuck you guys. You didn't come out and see the movie.
I mean, I heard it did ultimately okay at the box office. From what I heard, they have like, I think I was reading this on the wiki page, but they had a bunch of like crazy ideas. They wanted to take it in a sequel, and they just had to set it up in this one, and they never got to do that. So, which is unfortunate.
Well, according to the commentary, they were like, yeah, it didn't do well. You're never going to see a sequel. Sorry.
Yeah, since there has been a Blair Witch video game since, which I did not play, but it looked kind of cool.
Oh, it is out for PS4 now, Zach, because it was
is
Xbox exclusive for a while. But yeah, you can play it now.
I would totally like to see that. I'd like to watch a Let's Play of that, because I don't play video games.
I do hope we get more in the Blair Witch universe. This movie wasn't terrible. It just didn't really do much interesting with the franchise.
There
it was
is
just a
more
found footage movie, you know?
I don't know if you know this, but there is a big thing that's in the Blair Witch universe right now that Hunt a Killer, the by mail crime solving kit that you can subscribe to, has a Blair Witch one now.
Yeah.
And it looks pretty interesting. I've done a Hunt a Killer before. They're really fun.
The problem with Blair Witch is that when that came out, it was something that no one had heard of. People thought it was real initially when they came out. A lot of people did.
Oh, yeah,
and
my friend Matt.
It looked like, a student, film grad kind of documentary, and then it just freaked people out. And I think the problem with this is they shouldn't, as much as I get why they had to, they shouldn't have labeled it Blair Witch. It should have been something else, and then secretly it was a Blair Witch movie, and people finding that out as they see it. That would have recaptured some of what Blair Witch
that's what
brought.
they did originally with the trailer, right? It was called The Woods, and then they eventually said, this is a Blair Witch movie.
I know they had to advertise that to get people in, but it would have been more effective if they didn't have to, if they just left it The Woods, and then people found out it was a Blair Witch, reboot after seeing it. That would have been cool, but I understand why, Blair Witch is a big property. People are going to pay to see that, so you kind of have to advertise it. I hope there's something more with Blair Witch. It's just going to be hard to recapture the magic of the original and just that mystery element that you just can't quite get. Anyway,
they should give it to Robert Eggers, who did The Witch.
Yeah.
In fact, you should just pretend that The Witch is a Blair Witch prequel, and it's really awesome. But I'm excited for this movie, for Kong versus Godzilla. My expectations, though, are a little... I'm keeping them low, just because I haven't loved, any of the movies that's led up to this. I've liked some of them. But I just haven't loved them. Are you guys going to go,
I love them all,
I don't know, I guess... I don't know how things are in L.A. You can go to a movie theater here in Arkansas.
Okay, no, not here. No.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Maybe this is the frustrating thing, because this is a movie you want to see on theaters, man. I don't want to watch this on my shitty 32-inch TV that I've been wanting to replace for 10 years.
Maybe things will really turn around in 2 months.
So Zach, get that next stimulus check and use it all on a bigger television.
Well, I can't. The problem is I have a media center display that doesn't fit anything bigger than a 32-inch.
Yeah, I'm like that with the 42. Yeah.
Basically, I'm doing everything I can to move into an apartment soon, so then I can just get as big a TV as I want. Because I'm not taking that media center that I have.
What you do is you buy a projector. Buy a projector, and you can project it in any space that you want.
I don't have enough. I would have to take down posters to project it in my room, and that would just be confusing. But yeah, Godzilla vs. Kong. I'm certainly looking forward to this. I don't know how I'm going to watch it yet, but I'll probably have to suck it up and watch it on my... Hopefully I'm in an apartment by then, but we'll see. But
you know what? Watch it on your phone.
Yeah, little screen.
Godzilla King of the Monsters was okay. I love Mike Dougherty. I was a little disappointed
that movie.
I
was
need to watch it
disappointed
again.
by nothing. Yeah, I was disappointed by the first Godzilla because they never showed him or Bryan Cranston. But yeah,
I tried to watch King of the Monsters again, and I just found myself just fast forwarding through most of the human bullshit.
That's the problem with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I
like
Bryan Cranston in the first one is more interesting than anyone in the second one. I love the girl from Stranger Things. I'm blanking on her name right now, but I felt like Kyle Chandler was miscast in that movie, and there just wasn't anything interesting going on with
Sally Hawkins gets fucking
stuff.
Killed.
Yeah, probably she should have been the main character.
Yeah.
Or the doctor. God, I should know his name too. But who was in the first one. It just
Ken Watanabe.
It disappointed me because I feel like Mike Dougherty does really good like, I love everyone in, in Krampus, the family, the relationships there are great. So I was just a little disappointed in that aspect.
I don't care about the humans at all. Just cut them completely out of the movie. Make it 2 hours of monsters fighting. That is all I want.
The one thing I did appreciate about the prior Godzilla film that Bryan Cranston was in, I should know who directed that, is that there was sort of it's kind of like teases Godzilla throughout the movie and then you get him. Obviously, that's not what you necessarily want in a Godzilla movie. You want to see him the whole way through, but I like that kind of, Cloverfield, teased the monster throughout it and you're kind of getting glimpses. And there's something kind of cool about that, especially seeing it in theaters. So, obviously Godzilla vs. Kong, you just want to see Kong and Godzilla beat the crap out of each other. So I'm excited. My money is on... they're both going to win, so it doesn't really matter.
No, it's...
in real life, it'd probably be Godzilla, but...
Honestly,
it's going to be a Freddy versus Jason thing.
If you're following toy releases, it's really obvious the direction they're going, and I'm not going to spoil it for anyone that's not following
I hope it's
that.
exactly like Freddy vs. Jason and Godzilla, like cuts Kong's head off and then Kong looks at the camera at the end of the movie.
That's exactly what I was going to say. He just walks out of the ocean carrying Kong's head.
Fast forward a minute if you don't want spoilers to what is really going to happen. They're going spoiler alert.
They're going to fight a third monster.
Don't tell me.
Yeah, they're going to team up and fight someone else. Let's just put it that way.
All right, so that's Godzilla vs. Kong. It's going to be awesome. So next release, another big one that was delayed a year, A Quiet Place Part 2, directed by John Krasinski.
Didn't need a sequel.
Pass.
Yeah,
you didn't like the first one?
No,
okay.
there's. I don't have questions that need answering. I get with
that. It didn't need a sequel, but I did like the original. And Cillian Murphy's in this along with Emily Blunt. So Cillian Murphy.
Cool. Two of my least favorite actors in one movie.
So that's April 23rd. Chris, Chris, I think you're very excited about the other release coming out on April 23rd, and that is Last Night in Soho, directed by Edgar Wright.
Oh fuck yeah! Edgar Wright, long due a horror movie. This one's gonna be like heavily influenced by kind of like 70s thrillers, like Don't Look Now. So it's also got time travel. Apparently, there's an aspect in it.
Yeah. So the plot of this is a young girl passionate about fashion design is mysteriously able to enter the 1960s, where she encounters her idol, a dazzling wannabe singer. But 1960s London is not what it seems, and time seems to fall apart with shady consequences. So
I can't wait to see this movie. It's going to be great. I mean, this is like a must-see for everyone. I do got to throw in that Zach glossed over a release a week before this on April 16th, which is Mortal Kombat.
I forgot.
Which looks like it's going to be fucking amazing.
Also HBO Max?
Yes, also HBO Max. And I cannot wait to see that movie. I'm not going to get super into it. Huge Mortal Kombat fan. Enjoyed the first movie, but it's PG-13 bullshit. Second movie was complete garbage. This is going to be very R-rated, very horrific, and very gory, and I am all for it. There's an animated film that came out last year about Scorpion that you can kind of see the direction that this movie's going to take. Also, worth seeing just to see, what's his name? Oh God, Joel McHale as Johnny Cage in the,
he's playing Johnny Cage.
Yeah, in the animated one, not in real life, but yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, sadly.
I know he's a little old, but come on.
I would have been down for it. He's also huge, so he would have been towering over like all of the
playing
characters.
Johnny Cage in the one that's coming out?
It's not a well-known cast in this new movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I really want to see this movie quite a bit. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be people getting wrecked. It has a lot of my favorite characters in it. So yeah, we're going to have a really interesting April episode of this podcast where we talk about all the stuff we watched in those 2 months.
And maybe we'll get that. We'll get a Street Fighter. I just want to see like a Blanca movie.
I'd be cool with that.
So back to Last Night in Soho really quickly. Yeah, the plot of this movie, it reminds me a lot of in a way, it kind of reminds me of the Stephen King book 11/2263, which is about a guy that goes back in time to stop the Kennedy assassination. I think this is more of like a horror movie, like a thriller than that. That was like a suspense book. and the Hulu series, which is great. But it stars Anya Taylor-Joy and Matt Smith, Mr.
Oh,
Doctor
fuck
Who.
yeah.
So,
I keep forgetting that Matt Smith is in this.
Yeah, so that's going to be great. You'd probably like to check out, I forgot to mention this, Chris, but the movie His House, Matt Smith has a part in that, so you should check it out.
Okay.
He's good.
All right.
I mean, it's a bit part, but he's good in it.
Yeah. So you guys should get the... Oh, fuck, I'm fucking this up. There's a new issue of... Fuck, what is that magazine called? Film magazine.
Rue Morgue? Fangoria? Horror Hounds? I'm just
Audiences, read Chris's
ones.
mind. What magazine is this?
Empire?
Cut all this out, Jack. Zach, cut all this out.
Is it Empire, Chris? So that's
Empire,
very
thank
British.
you.
Yes.
So you guys should check out the next week's issue of Empire magazine, because Edgar Wright got together a bunch of filmmakers to ask them questions about movies, and it's just like a huge compilation of filmmakers talking about their greatest cinema moments, moments in a theater, to kind of celebrate theaters since we're not going to them right now. I'm looking forward to that issue. I'm gonna check that out.
Great. Yeah, I'm excited. All right, guys. I should mention, if my voice sounds a little different, I am using a new mic. If you hear a slight buzz, I did a bunch of tests and it wasn't there, so I'm not sure why it's there, but I'll work the kinks out, but hopefully it sounds good otherwise. All right, the next release I have on this calendar is Spiral from the Book of Saw. This is another one that was delayed. Once again, May 21st. Once again, directed by Darren Lynn Bousman, who, come on, give someone else a chance.
Honestly,
he directed Saw 2 through 4, man.
Yeah, I couldn't be less interested in a movie release. Actually, there's probably a couple that I'm less interested in, but yeah.
I'm interested because Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson are in this movie, and Chris Rock wrote the treatment for this. He did not write the script, but he wrote the treatment. The guys that wrote it, actually, they did Jigsaw, which I did not see, and they did Piranha 3D and Piranha 3DD, which I didn't know existed. So,
you have to have seen the last 3 Saws to watch this movie.
The last one I feel like the last one I saw was 3. Maybe I probably saw 4, but it's been a long time.
Do you think that Chris Rock
4.
has seen all of the Saw movies?
Probably not. Oh, actually, maybe.
He probably has now.
Have.
I hope this is good for Chris Rock's sake.
I hope we get to see Fish eat Samuel L. Jackson's dick. Same writers. I mean, it's just...
Yeah, the first Saw is, I love it. Brilliant. The ones after that, Saw 2 is okay. Saw 2 is fun. After that, but I'm hoping this is a cool reboot. I probably would have been more interested in a Paranormal Activity reboot just because I feel like they can do more with that. But and Saw was murdered to death. But,
murdered to death. That's actually a pretty good. Actually, killed to death is the song I'm thinking.
But let's face it, both those franchises have been milked a lot. So, but hopefully this is a cool reboot. Anyway, the next one I'm very excited about. June 4th, 2021. We have The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It, or just The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Just say The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It. Come on.
Why did I think there's already a Conjuring 3?
Because we've had 10 movies in the universe already. We've
had 3
Annabelle.
Insidiouses, right?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
That's why. I was confused.
So this is directed by Michael Chavez, who did The Curse of La Llorona, which makes me a little wary. But it is co-written by David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick, who co-wrote The Conjuring 2, wrote Orphan, and he also worked on the Aquaman film, and he's working on the sequel. So he's a good writer.
Ooh,
I'm a little concerned. There were some borderline jump the shark moments in Conjuring 2 that
not for me. For me, The Conjuring 2 is one of the best haunted house films ever made. I absolutely love that movie. Sure, there's a lot of monsters. One of them was supposed to get a spin-off. The Nun already did. But the Crooked Man is supposed to have gotten a spin-off. Which I don't think it's happened yet.
Jump the shark moment. I didn't feel like he belonged in that movie at all.
It didn't bother me. I still absolutely love that movie. I think it's one of James Wan.
Directed by James Bond.
Would you like to see my
I hope James Wan directs a James Bond film just so I can have that tongue twister to deal with. Yeah, I absolutely love The Conjuring 2, one of my favorite horror movies of the last 30 years. So I'm really excited for this. I love Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga. So looking forward to this. Yeah, that's June 4th, 2021. We'll see how it turns out.
It's like all of these movies are just backdoor pilots for other movies.
Here is
now,
something
so
I
it's-
found out that shocked the hell out of me. The Conjuring series is not Blumhouse. I was sure it was Blumhouse. It is not
No,
Blumhouse. It is
no.
New Line Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Insidious franchise, after the first one is Blumhouse. The first one was not Blumhouse, but the rest of them are. I was so sure it's Blumhouse just because James Wan has done a lot with Blumhouse, but it's not, which is interesting. So, but yeah, I love the first two Conjuring movies. The second one, particularly, I'm a big fan of, and I'm excited to see this. Yeah, so that's that. June 11th, 2021, Ghostbusters Afterlife, directed by Jason Reitman.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I forgot about this too.
Yeah.
So many movies we
I'm-
saw the trailers for a year ago, and we just they've just drifted out of public consciousness. I feel like
All I'm looking forward to, this movie can suck. This movie could be nothing. If Ecto Cooler comes back for this movie's release again, I am all for it.
Yeah, all the snack tie-ins. So the official plot of this is when a single mother and her two children move to a new town, they soon discover that they have a connection to the original Ghostbusters and their grandfather's secret legacy. So I'm wondering who the grandfather is.
It's Egon Spangler,
Egon.
I'm pretty
yeah,
sure.
it's gotta be
yeah.
Egon. Yeah.
I feel like they make that almost implicit in the trailer.
Oh yeah,
don't
it's
they?
gotta be Egon. Yeah. I'm excited for Paul Rudd. And I think Finn Wolfhard's in this, and McKenna Grace, who's been in a lot of, she was in Annabelle Comes Home and Haunting in Hill House. So it's a good cast. I know Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd, and I'm sure Ernie Hudson are going to be in this. So
Yeah, the only thing about the trailer is that it didn't look that funny. I mean, there was one joke in it, I think. It's like, you guys know Ghostbusters is a comedy, right?
I find it ironic that they're hunting the paranormal Ghostbusters, yet they have hired actual vampire Paul Rudd, the man that never ages.
I
in
love
this
Paul
one.
Rudd, dude.
Paul Rudd's not a vampire. He's the picture in Dorian Gray's attic.
Okay, yeah, that works too.
I don't have too much to say about the reboot that came out a few years back, other than it got more flack than it deserved, and it was harmless. So
Right,
Stop
it was
crying about
harmless, but yeah, it was harmless, but
Not
it was
good,
also
though.
just I just kind of watched it. Okay, well,
Yeah.
that was a thing. Yeah.
yeah.
I've almost forgotten that existed, honestly.
Yeah. Chris, I knew you did a video review of that on your old YouTube channel. I remember
Yeah,
watching it.
17 years ago. Wow.
Wasn't that long.
Probably one of the last ones I did.
Guys, busting makes me feel good. Busting
Great,
makes
Zach.
me feel good.
So okay, so
into
what
a
we've learned from
porn
Zach,
podcast.
but what we've learned from Zach is busted makes him feel good. He's working out the kinks, and something
James
about
Bond
Willy's
directed the Conjuring
Wonderland.
movie.
Yeah, James Bond directed The Conjuring. He can't wait for Willy's Wonderland while he's working out the kinks.
One of
and
these
busted
days,
makes him
we'll
feel
do
good.
like a countdown of my best tongue slips here.
You're never gonna beat Adam Gomez ever.
That's probably true. Oh my god, I can't believe I did that. Okay, so the next release is The Forever Purge, coming out July 9th, which is probably the release I care least about.
This title
That's a
is
dumb
horrible.
title.
It's
Horrible
supposed to be
title.
it's supposed to be the last one, and I gotta say the plot of this movie misses the whole point of the Purge franchise.
Yeah.
So it follows the presidential elections from the last year and the abolition of the Purge. A Mexican
Nope.
couple escaping from a drug cartel is stranded on a Texas ranch. There, they will be at the mercy of a group of outsiders who decide to unlawfully continue their own purge. Okay, so the point of the Purge is that it takes place during the Purge. So if you have a
Right,
movie that's
yeah.
taking place outside of the Purge, then it's just like a home invasion thriller movie. What's the point? That's not the Purge.
And why are they going back to a small scale movie?
I was gonna say, wasn't the
When-
first Purge just a home invasion movie with
Right.
some window
Yes.
dressing on it? To
It
give
was.
an excuse for the home invasion.
It was, and it was also a small movie that was made so that they could make bigger movies in the future. Now they're just like, let's make it tiny
they're
again.
ending the franchise for now because it will come back, and they're ending it by going, you know what? Let's do a Purge movie that doesn't take place during the Purge.
Yeah, it also just seems like it's really aping off of political
Oh,
the
absolutely.
political climate that's happening right now.
I
It
mean,
just
really,
feels
the
kinda gross.
last one did too, and yeah, and a little about half of the one before it did, but I liked that one.
Yeah, election year. I mean, election year had some fun moments. I think the second one for me is the strongest one, where they go out in the streets and you see the craziness of the Purge. The
Yeah,
first
which
one,
you get a little bit in election year.
Yeah.
A little bit.
the strong
Yeah.
point of the first one is the villain, who I really wish they had brought back because he was great and he was the best
Yeah.
part of this. I think the best part of the series, really, to me. That kid is fantastic, and they should have just continued to use him and made the franchise about him because he was so good. I enjoyed this franchise. It's just they're just drifting away from what makes it fun, in my opinion, and this is just missing the point of the Purge.
Right.
So
But
I'm
to
not
be
that
honest,
excited about
Zach,
this.
They didn't find out what made it fun until the second movie anyway.
There
You
were,
know?
yeah, for the most part, yeah, there were fun moments in the first one, like I said.
Well, yeah, I thought the
but
first one was good, but it just made you want more the whole time.
the thing about the first one was like you saw the trailer and you're like, that's a good idea for a horror movie,
Right.
and yeah, I'm sad that they're kind of going away from what made it cool, but I'm sure there'll be more scare zones at Halloween Horror Nights if it comes back this year, which I'm hoping it
yeah,
does safely. So,
Absolutely.
all right, so let's we still got a lot to go through, guys, so I'm gonna try to do this fast. And all right, July 30th, we have The Green Knight, which I'm very excited about, directed by David Lowery,
Makes
who
me
did
depressed.
who did A Ghost Story. He also did Pete's Dragon. He's doing Peter and Wendy, a Peter Pan adaptation that's coming out. This is from A24. It is a fantasy adventure, so this is sort of horror adjacent, kind of like Godzilla vs. Kong. It's based on the Arthurian legend about King Arthur's headstrong nephew, Sir Gawain, who embarks to confront the
Gawain.
eponymous Green Knight, a gigantic green-skinned stranger. I pulled all these plot log lines from like Wiki or IMDb, guys, so yeah, this looks awesome. That's pretty much my thoughts every time I see a trailer. It looks awesome. So,
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
like the Hulk. Okay.
It looks awesome, but it just makes you depressed because I was supposed to have seen this movie at South by Southwest last year, and it did not, because there was no South by Southwest.
Yeah, this one got a little screwed in the festival circuit. It didn't quite. Not only did every festival it was supposed to be in get canceled, I don't think it screened digitally for anyone either.
No, they
Unless
basically
I'm
just held on
mistaken.
to it.
Yeah.
okay, the next one, Don't Breathe 2, comes out
Another
August,
movie that doesn't.
August 13th.
This didn't need a sequel.
No,
I love
nope.
Don't Breathe, and it does not need a sequel.
Nope.
Not directed by Fede Alvarez, which is disappointing. Directed by Rodo Segoyes. Stephen Lang is returning, but I don't think Jane Levy is. The weird thing is he's playing the blind man, and I think the blind man is the protagonist in this movie, which makes no
Right.
sense.
What?
Right.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the plot is he's
Fuck
been
that
hiding
guy and
out.
his turkey baster semen things.
Yeah, he's got a fuck dungeon, but let's make him a good guy.
Yeah, the plot is he's been hiding out for several years in an isolated cabin and has taken in and raised a young girl orphaned from a devastating house fire. Their quiet
Nope.
life together is shattered when a group of criminals kidnap the girl, forcing the blind man to leave a safe haven to save her. Guys, he can't be a hero.
No.
Prequel before he turns evil?
I don't think so.
Oh Jesus.
Does he rescue her and say, you know what? Maybe I should fill her with some jizz with a turkey baster.
I hope the movie opens with him like using a turkey baster on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, he's just cooking. Would you like some turkey?
I saw that movie at the Cinerama Dome, and it was like one of the best theatrical experiences ever. Because when you see the turkey baster, the entire audience just like started vomiting
Nope.
together, just like freaking out at the same time.
Who wants some white meat?
So that's Don't Breathe 2. Our next release, another big one, Candyman, coming out August 27th. Directed
looking
by
forward.
Naya DaCosta, who is also going to be directing the sequel to Captain Marvel, which is cool.
Which is cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Candyman is a great movie, and I think a reboot could work for this one.
Oh hell yeah! The trailer for this is so awesome.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I need to see the first Candyman again. I feel like it's been like 10 years since I saw it.
Oh, it
and
holds up. It's solid.
Yeah, it does.
I feel like I was a little lukewarm to it initially, but I need to watch it again. I love Tony Todd, so I'm excited that he's in this. I didn't realize this was like the fourth entry, technically. There were two sequels to Candyman, which I did not see. Candyman Farewell to the Flesh and Candyman Day of the Dead. I did not
Okay,
realize
Day of
those
the Dead
existed.
wasn't great. Farewell to the Flesh was okay.
Okay.
The original Candyman fucked me up because I saw that movie like when I was like 10 or something, and it gets fucking dark. Like
It's
it gets
creepy. It's
fucking-
creepy.
Yeah.
I think I was just hoping
emotionally
it
scarred me
to.
a
I
bit.
think when I initially saw it, I was hoping it to be like a little more like a Elm Street kind of thing, and it's
No,
not that.
it's much bleaker than that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a
fucking
heavier
bleak.
movie, and I think that was
Yeah.
kind of I needed to kind of adjust my expectations for what I was watching. I wasn't expecting it.
No, and so did a lot of other people because they marketed it like an Elm Street movie, like when it first
Yeah.
came out, and people were like, "Holy shit, this is like real
It's like
horror."
Hereditary.
I want this to be the gritty reboot of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, but it's not going to happen.
That's just you, Zach.
But Jordan Peele did work on this script, which is very cool.
Yes.
So, and I think he's executive producing. So, yeah, excited
He
about
is.
this one. August 27th. We'll definitely talk about that. Next movie, it doesn't have an exact release date, but it's coming out summer 2021 to Netflix. That is Army of the Dead, directed by Zack Snyder, starring Dave Bautista. And
Yeah,
good.
I'll pass.
It's a zombie outbreak. Following a zombie outbreak in Las Vegas, a group of mercenaries take the ultimate gamble, venturing into the quarantine zone to pull off the greatest heist ever attempted. Because it's a zombie outbreak. We need money right now, I guess.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Tons of slow mo. I bet.
I want to remind you that the only reason Zack Snyder's previous zombie movie was any good is because James Gunn wrote it. So he's not writing this one.
There is hype about this movie, so I'll check it out. I'm happy for Batista to get a starring role here. So, yeah, that's coming to Netflix. I'll check
It's
it
not
out.
like he's in a $1 billion movie franchise or anything like that.
That
And
Snyder
starring
Cut's
all-
coming out soon, guys.
Yeah, it's gonna suck. It's gonna be fucking terrible. Just like the regular movie was.
We still got a decent amount more. So, September 9th, the Resident Evil reboot. Written and directed by Johannes Roberts, who did the 47 Meters Down films, which I've heard good things about, and The Strangers Pray at Night, which I did not see.
Yeah, hey, at least it got out of Anderson's fucking hands, so that's great.
We'll see. I think he wants to make it scary again.
If you look at it like the game franchise did with Resident Evil 7, and they do something like that,
Yeah.
it could be pretty cool.
I
I
gotta
don't
talk
think it's
about
going to do that.
commentaries on this, but I remember the Resident Evil commentary for the 2001 film.
Was it
Is that when
2001,
that came out?
2003, or 2003?
Something like
One? No,
Something like
maybe
that.
it was
For
one.
for the first Resident Evil movie, the commentary for that is fucking hilarious. I watched that way more than I watched the actual movie.
The first one's pretty good, dude. It has that awesome laser scene where it like cuts the dude like in half through his like
Yeah.
eyeball. That scene
It
is
also
awesome.
has.
Yeah, but watching it with the
the
commentary where
game.
they're basically doing like a mystery science theater to the movie is pretty entertaining.
I need to check that out. But yeah, so we'll see. Our next release, October 8th, 2021, Morbius.
Yeah, I'm down.
Marvel,
one of my
Columbia
favorite.
Pictures.
One of my favorite Marvel characters. They're going to do dumb shit that I'm not going to like for parts of this, I'm sure. But I'm down just because I love this character.
Yeah. So you might be a little disappointed, Casey, that it's written by Matt Sazama and Burke Sharpless, who did Dracula Untold.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, it's about, if you don't know the comic, it's about I think he's a doctor suffering from a rare blood disease. Michael Morbius tries a dangerous cure that afflicts him with a form of vampirism, starring Jared Leto.
Yeah, because the character was created when they weren't allowed to use real vampires, so they had to make him like a science vampire.
Yeah.
Due to the comics code. Yeah.
But yeah, directed by Daniel Espinosa, who his last, I think the big release was Life with Ryan Reynolds and Jake Gyllenhaal, that kind of alien space movie, which I still need to see, which I heard decent things about. All right, the last one with a date that I have on here, and then I have a bunch that don't have dates yet but are supposed to come out in 2021. Halloween Kills. Here we go,
which-
boys.
Yeah.
October 15th.
Absolutely can't wait to see this movie.
Once again from David Gordon Green, Danny McBride. Yeah, so apparently the plot is still set in Halloween 2018. Laurie Strode and her family work with new and old allies to form a mob against Michael Myers. That makes me nervous because I don't like the mob. That we already did that once, boys, in was it Halloween 4? So
Oh yeah, but they can do it so much better now, though.
yeah, hopefully
Yeah, they can get a smart mob this time, and it'll be okay.
that mob. But yeah, I really loved the reboot that came out, and I think I keep getting the year that it came out wrong. I think it was 2017 or
2018.
2018.
It was
I keep saying
2018,
2017. I should know that since it was like the very first thing we did.
I
on this
could
podcast.
tell you don't buy a lot of toys because they very carefully differentiate Halloween 2018 for all of that merch. Yeah.
So I'm super excited about that. And then we got Halloween Ends the following year, so very cool. All right, so release dates. Movies that are scheduled for 2021 but don't have firm release dates yet. There's a decent amount of these. We have The Devil's Light, which is directed by Daniel Stamp, who did The Last Exorcism, which is a great film. Great kind of cool, different found
title
footage movie.
sucks.
Not the best title. It's about a nun who is preparing to perform an exorcism and comes face to face with a demonic force with mysterious ties to her past.
I'm sick of exorcism movies already.
Yeah,
but I'm done.
He's a great director. So we have Escape Room 2, which the first Escape Room was actually pretty good. It's from a very successful director in the horror industry, Adam Robitel, who did Escape Room 1. He did Taking of Deborah Logan, and he did Insidious.
Awesome movie.
And did Insidious: The Last Key. So first Escape Room, if you did not see that, was a lot of fun. It was kind of a more lighthearted version of like the Saw movies without like the torture porn aspect, essentially, which was nice. Great cast. It's a good breezy watch. So if you're just looking for something to mindlessly put on, I recommend it.
Yeah, I think Zach's reviewed that in a previous episode.
I think I did. I at least wrote a written review on miserablepilesecrets.com. So,
right. I know you've reviewed it. Yeah.
Also coming to Netflix mid-2021 is Fear Street, which is an adaptation of the R.L. Stein books.
Down. I am down for this. Yes. These books are great.
Yeah, coming to Netflix from 20th Century, directed by Lee Janiak.
If you thought Goosebumps was cheesy fun, this is like 10 times the cheese.
It's supposed to be part one of a trilogy. So, yeah, we'll see. Fear Street. I didn't read the Fear Street books, but I love the name and I like R.L. Stein. So next one,
they're not as cool as Goosebumps, but they're cool.
Yeah, next one I'm excited about. This is O2, directed by Alejandra Aja, who did Crawl, which is fantastic. Hout Tension. So very well-known filmmaker here. Also coming to Netflix. It's about a woman who wakes up in a cryogenic chamber with no recollection of how she got there and must find a way out before running out of air. So he's very into the survival, like horror thriller genre.
I'm also sick of amnesia movies.
So another film we have coming out is Night Books, directed by David Yarovesky, who did Brightbird, which I loved. This is an adaptation of a J.A. White horror fantasy children's book. It sounds a lot like, the setup sounds a lot like Tales from the Dark Side, the movie. It's about a boy obsessed with scary stories who is trapped by a witch in her mystical New York apartment. So exactly like Tales from the Dark Side, the movie. But I think it's probably more kid-friendly.
Think more like a haunted mansion kind of place, though, with all kinds of crazy
Did you read the book?
Yeah. No, but I know of it. Yeah.
And I think Kristen Ritter is playing the witch, who she's great. I'm happy to see her in more stuff. Yeah. So
I hope she's an alcoholic witch.
Yeah. So hopefully that comes out this year. I got a few more guys. Also coming to Netflix, The Woman in the Windows, which I'm excited about. This is like a send up clearly of Rear Window. It is directed by Joe Wright, who this is his first thriller. He did Pride and Prejudice, Atonement. He did The Darkest Hour. So he is not a horror filmmaker.
Yeah, he's done a lot of like fucking great movies and then fucking like what happened there kind of movies. So yeah, I'm excited about that.
I have high expectations. Hannah? Yeah, I have high expectations for this. There is a trailer out already, but Amy Adams in the kind of James Stewart role, Julianne Moore and Gary Oldman are all in this. So I love Rear Window.
Amy Adams and Emily Blunt, two deal breakers for me for some reason. I just never like them.
You don't like Amy Adams? Oh, for shame, Casey. No. Get off the podcast.
Casey hates women.
I'm trying to get off the podcast.
What I did find weird is I've like read interviews about this movie, like with the director, and he's like not name dropping Rear Window, which this is clearly like it's the exact same plot, and I'm like, come on, dude. Who are you fooling here?
Maybe he thinks he's copying Disturbia. I don't know.
He's talking about his influences, and he's not naming Rear Window, which, dude, come on. The next just has a general 2021 release date. Don't know too much about it, but the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is supposed to come out this year. Directed by David Blue Garcia, who I don't know what else he's done, but
guys, you can just stop with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre reboots.
No, I want to see a good reboot. All I can say is the poster is great, so hopefully it's fun.
I just can't imagine what direction you would go with it in, because it's like you can. Like the original is so great, and you can do, I guess, basically the Michael Bay-esque direction that they went with the remake.
Oh, Texas
like
Chainsaw.
That's a choice, sure.
Texas Chainsaw 3D can fuck right off.
I have not seen that one, but I did see all 3 in the beginning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen both of those. Yeah, let's just make him a guy with no nose. It's fine. Whatever.
All right, so we have two more that have just again general 2021 release dates. That is *Malignant*, directed by James Wan, which is his kind of supposed to be kind of influenced by the giallo genre. So
Giallo.
Yeah,
subgenre.
yeah.
I love James
There's
Wan.
always room for giallo.
So all his projects are exciting, so eager to see what makes of that. And then we have Antlers, which was supposed to come out like beginning of last year.
Yeah,
God, I
I've
forgot
been
about that too.
We've already hyped wanting to see this movie on this podcast like a year ago.
Directed
Yeah.
by Scott Cooper, who did not horror movies. He did Crazy Heart and Hostiles. Kerry Russell's in this. Jesse Plemons is in this. It's about a mysterious creature who escapes from its confines to wreak bloody havoc in a small Oregon town. I believe it's the Wendigo. So
It's Wendigo.
Wendigo,
yes.
produced by Guillermo del Toro. So that is the 2021 slate of horror releases, guys. There's a lot to get excited about.
Woo!
I will just say right now, the odds of us covering all of those on this podcast are slim to none.
But the good ones,
We'll cover the good ones because, like I said, we're like a variety podcast. We'll do themed episodes, which we might for our next one. We'll see. And so we cover what we can. When we get paid to do this, maybe we'll do an episode a week and we can cover most of this. But until that day happens, we'll cover what we can. But yeah, it's an exciting year for horror, so I'm looking forward to it. And this is not covering like most of what's coming out in Shudder and other exclusive independent releases. So
There's going to be tons of stuff that will just come out and we'll have not heard a word about it.
yeah, so hopefully this was an entertaining show. We didn't
That's
have
how
a
the
lot.
way the world works now.
We didn't have a
There's
lot
no hype.
planned because I think we kind of needed a sort of a breather before diving back into horror. So this is kind of a palate cleanser, so into the new year. I haven't been watching a ton of horror yet. I'm still watching that show Sweet Home. I'm on the 5th episode now. It's okay.
Hey, I watched From Beyond the other day.
Yeah. Far
great
Beyond.
movie. Great movie.
I love that
loved it.
movie. Yeah.
Watched that movie with my grandma once. It was the TV version though. It was like
Oh, okay. So
very
it was like
cut.
10 minutes long.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, gosh. I really should probably watch The Mandalorian. I probably should get on that.
Oh, fuck you, Zach. Yes, you should. All of it. And you should start watching WandaVision right now. Yes.
I watched the first episode. It's okay.
You got to
see.
watch the second episode. It's I feel like
I heard
for
nothing
WandaVision,
changes though. I heard someone say like, yeah, the second episode is pretty much the exact same thing. It's like, oh, well, I want something to fucking happen.
I would disagree with that person a lot. And
Okay.
also, as someone that has a love for the history of television, I feel like I'm getting a lot out of the show, and that I'll continue to until they catch up with modern times and shit really happens. But yeah.
It was nice to see the mom from that 70s show.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It looks like the way they're going is each episode's going to be a decade of TV history until shit really hits the fan, which is
Oh, okay.
tremendous.
Is that what the plot is?
Tremendous.
I've just seen like teasers and I'm like, oh, it's like the 50s. Cool. And that's
Yeah,
all I
well,
know.
There's
episode
lots of
2
different decades, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Episode 2 is the 60s, yeah.
Okay.
So is this like an alternate universe where the Vision is still alive or?
We don't know.
Possibly, we don't really know.
Ah.
Yeah.
You don't get no
enjoyed
answers
it.
on the first episode, motherfucker.
No. The second episode, you pretty much know kind of what's going on in the second episode.
They didn't solve Laura Palmer's murder until season 2.
Right. And then they just kind of bullshitted their way through it.
All right, guys. Before I go, let us plug the social media here. So you can follow us at MPOS Official under Another Miserable Podcast on Twitter, and also subscribe to us on YouTube under Another Miserable Podcast. Please subscribe to us and follow us on Twitter. It will really help us out. If you'd like, you can follow our personal Twitter accounts. I'm at Earth2Zach, Earth the number 2 Zach, Z-A-K. I tweet a lot of reviews and stuff out there, along with my letterbox, which I need to tweet about my letterbox, so you guys can just follow me there. I'll put it in my Twitter bio. You can also follow my co-host, Chris. Where can they find you?
I'm on Twitter and Letterboxd at Chris Pistol, Chris with a K and Pistol with a E.
And Casey.
Yeah, I'm at Lucha Gringo on Letterboxd and Twitter. The Twitter's locked and private, but I will add you. Just send me a request.
And you can add me on Instagram if you want to. I won't think it's weird. It's the same as my Twitter. That's all. And if you enjoy what we do, guys, please consider leaving us a nice review on Apple Podcasts. Again, that would be a huge help. We're really trying to break out this year.
If you didn't like what you listened to, just consider leaving us.
Again, hopefully some cool, exciting stuff is going to happen for this podcast soon. And that's all I'm going to say. So, but we'll see how the year unfolds. But yeah, look for some cool announcements on here at some point. All right,
yeah,
guys.
we're kind of waiting to find out if we can go to cons and stuff again.
Yeah, that would be cool.
So yeah.
All right, guys. Please continue to stay safe. Wear masks. Again, it's dicey out here in California. But wherever you are, wear masks. Hopefully vaccines will roll out soon. But we want to be safe in the meantime. So again, by the time fall rolls around, we can do all the cool stuff we used to do. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Right?
Yeah, it would. It would. Real Halloween this year. Yeah.
And let us know if there's anything, I haven't said this in a bit, but if there's anything you'd like to see us cover, anything you want us to, send us your requests. You can just write us on Twitter or YouTube, leave us a comment, whatever you want to do. We love hearing from you guys. So let us know. Let us know what you've been watching, what you'd like to see us cover. We'll do another commentary at some point. So as well. All right, guys, have an awesome day. We'll see you next time.
See you guys.